Greetings, comrades! My name is DimAurora, and welcome back to From the Depths. Now today we are going to be going over the armaments of Gen 8 that I have so far, just because what I'm going to be doing when I'm doing build videos or whatnot, which are a highly requested thing, is I'm going to be using prefabs only. So I want people to be caught up with what I'm doing and not be entirely confused as to where the hell this gun or missile system came from. Now, I'm going to say that most of my stuff is lightly modded. I don't use anything too cheap. The only thing I use that may be considered cheap is this 25mm Gatling gun, but I have modified its settings greatly so that it's way more balanced than it used to be. It used to be like this phalanx here. So I've given it more armor, more health. I've reduced the weight because 900 was way too much. It's actually a glitch in the system. It's supposed to be 9, but for some reason it adds or multiplies it by 100. So this is technically 0.2. This was supposed to be 9. So I made it to 20. I think that's perfectly fine. I have also greatly improved or greatly increased the cost of the system because it shouldn't be 200. I'll say that. So I made it to 1,750 because that is roughly the cost of what my 25 was before the mod was fixed. So I've pretty much made this into a compact version of what my old 25mm was. Now if we take a quick usage of this. It's quite the decent little gun. It can also act as a Sea Whiz. I do use it as that on a few ships already, but mostly I've only built small ships, so this is just main armament. So there's my little main 25. It replaced 3 separate 25mm that I had. I'll just quickly show those off. These were my old 25s. Now this setup you guys are well aware with. It's the twin-sided ammo with the single, or with the middle as coolant and recoil. It's the basic design that hasn't changed much since the end of Gen 5 when I first introduced it. So this is the ADS 25 standard model. It was designed to be placed on larger ships that couldn't really, or that could contain the, I guess, girth of the underdeck systems. This is the ADS 25K, same system, except made much more compact. It doesn't have as much cooling, recoil, or reload, but it's able to fit in a 3x3, which made it available for use on a lot of my smaller ships. And then we have the little A225 in the middle here that was designed to be put on patrol boats. It's put on a pintle mount. It's about as compact as I could get a decent gun. So those little things don't even need an introduction because they're not really being put into service anymore. This is also why I made the other 25mm at 1,750, because it was not as effective as a standard model ADS 25, but it was far more effective than the ADS 25K. Moving on, we have the A257, the DGS-1, and the DGS-2. I'll get these guys set up real fast and we'll be right back. Alright, so we are all loaded up. Now all 3 of these guns use a similar round. The 57mm uses the smallest version. It's a time fuse with a 180 frag body, a 60 frag body, and a composite head. This way you will have a full circle or full sphere of damage if you miss, and if you get a decent hit, this will apply 60-degree frag into your enemies. These two are similar, except they have a stabilizer fin body for more accuracy in flight. And the 100 mils gun is bigger, so it actually takes more gunpowder to fully flick that shell. So one thing you will notice that is different from my other usage of this style of cannon is that I actually put the local weapon controller on as many turrets as I can. You probably noticed that on the ADS-25s as well, as it's very compact. It doesn't, or it means I don't have to put a block or two additional below the gun system, and it means they can just be put anywhere really. So first up, I'm going to demonstrate the A257, then the DGS-1 76mm, and the DGS-2 100mm. Now all three of these are anti-aircraft guns, or dual purpose, so they all have similar roles, but for now we're going to use our favorite, which is the poor Marauder. As we can see, there's a lot of 180 frag going everywhere. When a shell misses, it comes back and hits it. It's quite nice. The little A257 is capable of 180 rounds a minute. I don't remember what the DGS-1 is. 300 rounds a minute, and then 240 rounds a minute. So all of these are very rapid fire guns that do very rapid fire damage. Most of my ships will actually be armed with at least one of these. Quite a few of them have the 57mm. The DGS-1 is a little bit more rare. It's more of a heavy anti-aircraft gun than anything. And the DGS-2 100mm is a very good dual-purpose gun. So the Marauder's already dead. The problem with these is that they are all belt-fed, so they do kind of run out. But that's only in very extended engagements that any of these will run out. The little 100mm is very accurate at its range. The 76mm is the perfect midman, and then this is purposefully inaccurate to just lay 57mm shells everywhere. So moving on, or we will move on to the next set, the DGS-3 130mm and the CGS-1 152mm. Alright, we are back with the DGS-3 130mm and the CGS-1 152. Now these two are the starts of what I would consider my medium guns. This bad boy here arms most of my destroyers. You've probably seen it already on the destroyers that were on the Project 16 that was shown in the last episode. So this is about as good of a Tetris as I could get out of a 7x7. It's quite the reliable gun. It never runs out of ammunition. It has a constant rate of fire of 140 rounds a minute, which is very nice. It's quite accurate. It doesn't have many issues with it. The only issue I would say is probably the turret durability, but that's intentional, so I can't really complain. And then we have the CGS-1. This is one of the scariest guns I've made. It is a triple 152. If I go in here, you will see that it is perfectly Tetrised. So each side takes up 1/3. This middle also takes up the back. So this is a very good gun. Each barrel is capable of 46.5 rounds a minute continuous fire, so that's roughly 150 rounds downrange every minute. So it rivals the 130mm. Both of them use the same shell. It is a fin-stabilized hollow point AP shell. This thing absolutely destroys anything that is made out of wood. I'm going to quickly put up a little barrier here just so no stray shells hit. when I conducted the testing. So we're going to test against the poor Atlas. These shells hurt. Direct hits will usually cause massive amounts of damage, especially to something wooden like the Atlas. But you can see that each shell tears up a massive chunk of this poor ship. And they're just firing away. So these are the main damage dealers I have so far. I have planned a 220mm, a 305mm, and a 406mm. But I'll probably make them when I build the ships they're designed for. Not many ships will actually use them. The 220mm CGS-2 is designed for like 2 classes, I think. The BGS-3 305 is only for 1. And I want to say the BGS-1 406mm is only used for 2. But they will be designed when I get around to it. Next up is missiles, and I have a lot. Alright, so here we have the first and the most unique of my missile launchers, probably. This is the little adorable 1K1 Interceptor missile launcher. So it's about as small as I could get something of this type. It's got 4 little dinky interceptor missiles that are purely designed for knocking out your average missile. So if I take a Drake, actually I do not want to take a Drake. And it really helps if I actually build a thing that does the missile detection. That would have helped them. Maybe that's why it didn't even remotely detect that threats were incoming. Try that again. This time the view is not obstructed. Come on, fire your missile. There we go. Alright. So when it has the proper detection, it works. When you do it right, it just works. Also, that was a delayed reaction invisible missile. Thank you very much. Alright, so here we are with my 3 torpedo systems. These 2 up here you may recognize. They're very similar to most torpedoes. They rely on explosive warheads because of the explosive damage buff underwater, and they have a single fragmentation warhead just for that little extra kick of damage. And then this one over here, same deal, just with 5. Because when you need a lot of torpedoes, you need a lot of torpedoes. This little setup right here is my Torpedo Interceptor launcher. You may notice this poking out of this, or flush with the side of some of my larger vessels, or vessels designed to hunt submarines, because these are the single most effective things I have created. They run off of a passive sonar system that is detecting anything it really can. It's just trying to detect if there's sonar incoming, and most or all torpedoes use sonar. So it's almost a guaranteed detection. If I just slap a card or 2 on here, that would make it better. Wow, it's amazing what technology does. Look at that. Wow, it's almost complete there. For 100% detection. So I'm going to actually go all the way out here and spawn a few of... Actually, let's pause the game. I'm going to go into Gen8, and I have something that is perfect for testing this. Yes, I have another midget submarine, don't judge me. So these little guys are going to help me demonstrate what's going on. Alright, so target detected and enemy torpedoes also detected. So here go the little interceptors. Let's see if we can watch it hit. These are the most effective interceptors I have. Bap bap. Just 2 of them will knock out any size torpedo. The first one actually hits it so hard that it throws it off course. Now we get to watch the beautiful carnage of something this small getting hit by torpedoes that big. So here goes a little interceptor. Oh, there go main torpedoes. And the interceptor has hit it so hard that it actually flicked it out of the water. And the main torpedoes hit it so hard that there's a husk left. So that's the torpedo armament of Generation 8. It's not much, but oh boy is it effective. I love working with torpedoes, and I absolutely adore these interceptor torpedoes. But next up is missiles. Alright, here we are with the 4 major missiles, or the 3. There are 3 in front of you. That little nub does not count. These are the 3 major missile launchers of Generation 8. As you can probably tell already, all 3 of them use the same system that I adore using for missile launchers. They are actually 2 turrets, a 1-axis and an elevation that are entirely separate, so they have a base that rotates, and then a top-mounted section that moves. So it looks much more natural than most systems do. Now this is the 1A4, 4-meter, or 3-meter anti-aircraft missile launcher. Let me get a little testing target. These are very fast, quite agile missiles that, when launched in salvo, can do quite a bit of damage. Don't know why I went back. So they're not really designed for anti-ship combat, as is very prevalent, but they are beautifully engineered to hunt down fast, agile aircraft that think they're funny and try to fly above you. Then over here, I'm going to skip over that one. This is the 1S2 5-meter dual-purpose missile launcher. As you can see, full angle of elevation and whatnot, full traverse of course. And these missiles are salvo fired because they actually like to split up near the end, and they like to punch holes in things. That's their job. They're pure frag, I think. Yes, so you get a hit with these suckers, it's gonna dig a hole in the enemy. That's precisely what you want. All 3 of these are moderately cheap, except, okay, I opened my mouth too soon, I forgot. But this is the 1S3. This bad boy is fitted to 2 ship classes, I believe. One of my cruisers and the guided missile frigate. Now this big boy uses 8-meter missiles that, as you can see, are giant spears of doom that can fly quite some distance and do a decent chunk of damage. What is that one doing? I mean, I guess it's because I turned my camera. Oh, I'm on top of it now. Fun. But these are the 3 major missile launchers of my Navy currently. There may be more. I don't really know. I might improve these over time. I'm not all too great with missiles. You guys are probably looking at this and going, he thinks that's good? Yeah, I do. I do think these are good. But we'll move on to more specialized weapons. Alright, we are back with these three little specialized weapons. Most of them are anti-submarine, but I think they're fun. I like anti-submarine warfare. So this one, on the right side, is the RDC-250. It is a rocket-assisted depth charge flinger. So if I just chuck one, see that it travels out to about 1,000 or a kilometer at most, and then it sinks at a very steady pace, but the magnet is still strong enough to overcome the sinking. So this is one of my more flexible weapons. It can of course be direct fired if necessary. It was just say, oh no, a marauder. Where did that come from? You just chuck a depth charge at it and weep. Then again, it's mostly designed for underwater because it's almost pure explosive. So it's a fun little weapon. I had fun designing it. I have fun using it. And this is its bigger brother, the rocket-assisted mine. Why, you may ask, Dim, why the fuck do you want a rocket-assisted mine? Why would you want that? Because I'm a psycho. Look at this. Chuck. Better watch out, boy. And then, bam. Does a fair amount of damage. It's not the most effective weapon. I just wanted it because it's fun. Okay? It's strapped on, or it's only going to be on 2 classes of ship anyways. So those of you like, don't put that on things. Don't worry. It's not on many things. And then this is the fixed version. It doesn't have a rocket boost, of course. It just relies on pure yoink power. So, it's fixed angle. It's actually normally built into the deck. Normally you would only see about that much poking out. So if I just yoink, it's specifically designed to go far and high so that my ships have enough time to get out of the way. Travels about 300 meters. Splashes down, has a 100 meter detection range. Floats on the surface because it should. That's what a mine does. But it's a very cheap, very effective mine launcher. I love using it. I love these little things for some reason. I think they're fun. But anyways, guys, that is all the time and all the armament I have to show. So if you enjoy or if you have some suggestion, mostly for the missiles, please leave a comment below. I would love to see feedback. I'm not that great with missiles. But anyways, guys, as for now, DimAurora, signing off.